Good evening, everyone. We're running a little bit late prior to our regular full board meeting. I have a hearing to conduct. McLean County Board will now, whoops, we're not ready. Okay. Got your people. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. McLean County Board will now conduct a public hearing to receive public comments in connection with the proposed amended and restated lease agreement between the county and the Public Building Commission of McLean County relating to acquiring, constructing, improving, altering, equipping, repairing, maintaining, operating, and securing certain county buildings, offices, and parking facilities. Pursuant to the lease, the Public Building Commission will be authorized to issue up to $8,500,000 of bonds for the purpose of financing improvements to county facilities. The bonds will be payable from county rental payments. The county rental payments will be a general obligation of the county. Notice of this hearing was published in the Panagraph on Friday, November 5th. All persons desiring to be heard will have an opportunity to present written or oral testimony with respect to the proposed lease. At this time, are there any comments from McLean County Board members concerning the proposed lease? Ms. Taylor, has anyone sent comments into the county either electronically or written regarding the subject of this public hearing?
Chairman McIntyre, no, we have not received any.
Okay, thank you. Is there any public comment concerning the proposed lease? Anyone here in attendance? If so, please come forward. I'll ask again, is there any public comment concerning the proposed lease? If not, I'll ask a third time, is there any public comment concerning the proposed lease? Please come forward. All persons desiring to be heard have been given an opportunity to present oral and written testimony with respect to the proposed lease. Is there a motion to close the hearing? A motion by Member Klein, second by Member Metzger. Any comments or questions? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Thank you very much, and this hearing is closed. We'll go on to our regular full meeting. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise. We have an invocation or a moment of silence by Member Leah Klein.
May we remember people in our own families, friends, and individuals in our community who live with diabetes. As elected officials, may we commit ourselves to increasing awareness of diabetes and supporting those in our community who live with this disease.
Thank you. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Lori Wilbraham. Josh Barnett.
Present.
Hannah Beer.
Present.
Lindsay Bloomfield. Sharon Chung,
Present.
Leah Klein,
Present.
Chuck Erickson. Chuck
Present.
William John Friedrich,
Present.
Elizabeth Johnston,
Here.
Val Lehman, Randall Martin,
Present.
Catherine Metzger,
Present.
Jim Rogal,
Present.
Susan Schaefer, James Soldner,
Here.
Gerald Thompson,
Present.
Shana Wachinsky, Benjamin Webb,
Present.
George Wendt, John McIntyre.
Here, we have 20 members present, no one absent, and we do have a quorum. Going to number 5 on our agenda, appearance by members of the public and county employees in reference to an agenda item. We have no one who's requested to speak tonight. So I'll go on to item number 6, consent agenda. You have it before you. What say you? Member Erickson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to see 2 items pulled from the consent agenda. First item is item 6E1E, request approval of an addendum to resolution of the McLean County Board continuing the declaration of disaster. And the second one is 6E4C, resolution authorizing chairman to sign contract for the electrical supply for all McLean County facilities.
6E1A, did you say?
6E1E,
E?
and I think it's 6E4C, if I have it written down correctly.
Yeah, 6E4C, right. Yes, okay. Does everyone have that? One goes to property, one goes to executive committee. Chairman have that down properly? Okay. Any other comments or questions? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with those changes? Member Chung, motion, second by Member Worab. Comments or questions? Any further additions? If none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion has carried. Item G on our consent agenda is approval of resolutions of congratulations and commendations. And at this time, I'd like to invite Member Leah Klein to the podium along with Ms. Heather Kloster.
Okay, all right, thank you all so much. Thank you, Heather. So this is a resolution from the McLean County Board. Whereas diabetes is a serious chronic condition that affects individuals of every age, race, ethnicity, and income level. And in 2018, 26.8 million Americans were diagnosed with diabetes. And whereas in 2014 and 15, the annual incidence of diagnosed diabetes in youth under the age of 20 was estimated at 18,200 with type 1 diabetes and 5,800 of type 2 diabetes. And whereas a cure for diabetes does not exist, but with proper management and treatment, individuals with diabetes can live healthy and productive lives. And whereas Heather Kloster is a social worker and diabetes educator at Sugar Creek Elementary School in the Unit 5 School District, who provides education and support to teachers, staff, and families who take care of children with diabetes. And whereas she has provided education on carbohydrate counting, glucagon administration, insulin administration, blood glucose testing, insulin pump therapy, and how to even recognize the early signs of childhood diabetes. And whereas her tireless work, and advocacy has had an important positive effect on the families across the Unit 5 School District, now therefore be it resolved that the McLean County Board, during this Diabetes Awareness Month, extends a grateful thank you to Heather Kloster for her work and support of these students, families, and community members, adopted by the McLean County Board on this 16th day of November, 2021. Can we take a picture?
Congratulations, Heather, and thank you.
Heather's joined by her son, daughter, sorry, and one of her students, or former students who she has mentored, Alina. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll move on to the report of the standing committees. First of all, Executive Committee, Vice Chairman Soldner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Executive Committee has a number of items for tonight. The first one is 7A1A, request approval of the fiscal year 2022 budget as recommended by the Executive Committee. I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chairman Soldner, Vice Chairman Soldner, second by Member Schaefer. Comments, questions? Member Erickson.
Am I on there? All right. I'd like to make an amendment to the budget, Mr. Chairman. There's two related amendments to the fiscal 2022 budget. The first motion I'd like to make is I'll make a motion to amend Fund 0001, Subdepartment 0041, Program 0050, the General Fund Facilities Maintenance Budget, for the operations and maintenance of the Law and Justice Center, reducing line item 0832.0001, purchase of furnishings and office equipment from $46,700 to $28,204, and line item 0450.009, PBC reimbursement from $2,637,757 to $2,619,257. And correspondingly, I wish also to move to amend Fund 0162, Subdepartment 0045, Program 0050, the PBC rent, O&M budget for the operations and maintenance of the Law and Justice Building, reducing line item 0768.0001, PBC reimbursement from $2,136,088 to $2,117,588, and line item 0401.0001, general property tax from $2,136,088 to $2,117,588, resulting in an $18,500 reduction in the overall property tax levy and projected tax rate to the same as the 2020 rate. And that's my motion.
Amendment by Member Erickson. Is there a second? Second by Member Thompson. Comments, questions? Member Woolram?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a question. This is the first I've heard of these. And so I'm wondering what specifically would items or services or maintenance, whatever it is, would these reductions impact, since there have been 6 months of work that went into coming up with these figures?
I will refer to our county administrator. Ms. Taylor?
Thank you, Chairman. So the motion on the floor by Member Erickson would result in a decrease to a request from persons in the Law and Justice Center who have asked for new office equipment. And so this has not depleted that line item completely. We anticipate that it would result in some people not being able to replace their office furniture in the 2022 budget, or us finding other group purchasing plans that would make us able to buy those furnishings at a lesser cost to make it stretch further.
And how old are the furnishings that are being asked to be replaced, and what condition are they in currently?
So there were 3 different departments that had requested new furnishings. Some of the requests were newer furnishings that were approximately 10 to 15 years old, and some are much older than that and in poor condition. So obviously we would prioritize and take an inventory of that office furniture to see what was in the worst shape and replace that first.
And would this impact any ability to improve furnishings for ergonomic purposes to help prevent workplace injury?
No, it should not have an impact on that.
Okay, are there any other comments or questions? Member Went?
It's my understanding is that what this will do is enable us to reduce the levy so that we keep the tax rate the same as it was last year. And we're just talking about postponing some purchase of some desks by, I think, what percentage? It was what, 60,000, they're reducing it by 18,000. So there's just a few desks and stuff that aren't going to be bought. But this way, we don't have to raise the rate on our taxes, our property tax, and our citizens are going to face a substantial rate increase anyway because the property values have gone up. And so most people are going to have an increase in their county tax bill without us actually raising the rate. So I think this is a very effective thing to do. And I think that we should keep our budget in the point where we don't have to raise the rate.
Any other comments or questions at this time, Member Wolrab?
Thank you. Concerning Member Wen's question, when would those impacts, and I mean, if we were going to see raises in property tax values as something that we could utilize in our budget, they would be in our budget already. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
So really, what we're saying is, and I would agree that in the future years, because of the raise in property values, we will probably see those impacts, and we can deal with those and maybe keep property and tax rates level, or even maybe reduce them because the value of homes will be increasing. But for this year, that's not the case. And can you please remind us how much per average household this would increase people's taxes this year?
We're turning to our business lady to do some figuring over here, Ms. Dryer. I'm not sure we have that exact number.
So the 24.
We had
It's
it last
20,
time.
it's 24 cents on a $165
24
house.
cents, let me clarify, 24 cents per
On-
household
For
per
106,
year.
for $165.
And that's for the entire year.
Annual property
Only
tax,
24
right.
cents, not per day, per month, per week, but 24 cents for the year, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
that is
so,
correct.
so what I want to say to this is that this budget process has been going on for about 6 months. Everybody in this room has been involved in this, department heads, other elected officials like the sheriff and the county clerk and so on have been involved in this. We've all sat in meetings and approved these budgets. We all went on a tour this summer, and we saw things that were falling apart. We didn't see the office furniture that's being specifically referenced here, but we saw a lot of other things that are from years of neglect and underfunding. Every year we go through this dance, and every year we are talking about, and I understand nobody wants to raise taxes, but when you're talking about 24 cents on something that we've deliberated on for months and months, I can't vote for that. I can't vote to change this. The infrastructure of this county and the services are too important to the people of this county to continually starve them and underfund them. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Member Erickson, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just for historical reference, it's always, and I would say this respectfully to Member Wolrab, I mean, we've always done it this way at the end because we didn't want 20 members coming in here with 20 budget cuts. So what we've always done in the past is we've always asked the administration, where do you think it is feasible for us to make reductions in the budget that you think would be acceptable? Okay, it doesn't mean they agree with them. It just says that you think would be acceptable, okay? So instead of having 20 members proposing different cuts of 18,500, what we've always tried to do here is we've always tried to come up with a consensus that the administration could live with and that some of the voting members could live with. I would point out this is that, you know, our budget is approximately 130 million and 18,500 is 0.000142231 of that budget. And everybody out there who has a budget could probably find somewhere in their budget to find that type of reduction in their budget if they had to do it. And what we're talking about is not infrastructure, we're talking about equipment. And if someone has to put off a chair for a year or a table for a year, families all over McLean County make that same choice every day. Well, we can't afford the table this year, so we'll have to do it next year. And so all we're trying to do is to keep the tax rate down to keep it the same. And we've always been funding the government for the last 10 years, because we've had, in 2011, our budget, I don't have that number on there. Anyway, guess I grabbed the wrong sheet. Now here it is. All right. Our county budget was $78,138,556. I can't get my numbers right today. In 2021, it was $105,930,629. And so our budgets have been going up. Our budgets have, we have not been stingy on this board. We have increased our budget, and basically what we've always funded it through is through the increase in property values, and we funded those increases through that. The only thing we're doing here today is saying, let's keep the tax rate low. It's fair to the taxpayer, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Member Thompson.
I don't care how, how small amount of money it is. To me, it's about doing the right thing, and I think holding the line on our tax rate is doing the right thing. People like Member Erickson just said, families across this county are having to spend within their own budget, and I think we ought to do that. I don't care how small it is. And secondly, we did take a tour this summer, and you chose to ignore all the requests and points of needs that we could have used, and you chose to spend it on green energy. So I'm not saying I'm not against green energy, but you've made those choices too. So,
Any other questions or comments? Member Barnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess I would start by saying that if I were to bring a proposal forward, with all due respect, to reduce a portion of a budget within the county, I certainly would give a heads up to the committee chair and vice chair for who that budget belongs to. That's the way I would do it myself. That's not what happened here this evening. I echo Member Woolrab's comments that she made earlier. Time and time again, we have neglected facilities, whether it's equipment or whether it is actual infrastructure within this county when we pass this budget year after year. And I have held my nose and done it every single time, and I am sick and tired of doing it, because we do have a tremendous backlog of infrastructure needs within this county that we need to take care of. And we've begun to make good strides forward to do that, thanks to the leadership of the committee and also our staff. And we need to continue to do that moving forward. And it does bother me that it is the 11th hour, and we're coming in here with a proposal to reduce the levy so that people can save 24 cents on their property taxes. And I know 24 cents is 24 cents, and I get it. That is money, right? But when you think about over time what that has done to the county, we have out at Kamlara Park a poo pit, if you will forgive the term, that has been deferred year after year after year of proper maintenance. And because of that, when it came time to perform maintenance on it this year, we had to pay significantly more to get that project done. That is what happens when you make reductions like this within the budget. I'm not going to support this increase. I think the timing is terrible. I think it sends a terrible message that we are not about taking care of the facilities and the equipment that the taxpayers have entrusted us with. And now I'll yield the floor to Member Wentz so he can yell at me.
Any other comments or questions? If not, then I'm going to call the question. I'm sorry. Member Erickson?
I reject the argument that's been made that we have neglected things. I mean, if our budget was $78,138,556 in 2011, in 2021, our budget was $105,930,629. That's almost a $28 million increase. The issue is not that we've neglected things, we've changed priorities. During that same period of time, we had to fund mental health. We paid for a jail. So all we've done is change priorities. And 24 cents isn't going to rebuild the infrastructure in McLean County. It just isn't. And so I reject the idea that our budget is stingy. And I hope people understand that our budget has gone up. But the reason it goes up is because the county board sometimes changes priorities. Now we might be at a point in time where we can change priorities and try to fix some of these things that haven't been fixed in a while. But, you know, that happens in everybody's household too. There's things that you put off for a year or two and you fix them a year later. And it happens, and that's what we've done because we thought mental health was more important, or we thought the jail was more important. So to sit there and say that we've just been a bunch of stingy people who won't pay anything, it just isn't an accurate reflection of the facts. And Mr. Chairman, when we do vote, I'll ask for roll call.
Okay, anyone else? If not, then I'll call a question, we'll have a roll call vote. A yes vote is to support the amendment as presented by Member Erickson. A no vote is to deny. Please call the roll.
Lori Walrap,
No.
Josh Barnett,
No.
Hannah Beer,
No.
Lindsay Bloomfield, Sharon Chung,
No.
Leah Klein,
No.
Chuck Erickson,
Yes.
William John Friedrich,
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston, Val Lehman,
No.
Randall Martin, Catherine Metzger,
Yes.
Jim Rogal,
No.
Susan Schaefer,
No.
James Solner,
Yes.
Gerald Thompson,
Yes.
Shana Wachinsky,
No.
Benjamin Webb,
No.
George Wendt. George Wendt?
Yes.
John McIntyre?
Yes.
Pardon me?
Yes, we have 11. Yeah, did you get 11 yes votes? No votes? 12 no votes?
12 nay.
And 8 yes. So the amendment fails. And we'll move on to our regular motion. Member Solner made, and we had a second. So now we are voting on the amended, or the motion, the original motion, 7A 1A, request for the approval of fiscal year 2022 budget as recommended by the executive committee. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Roll call vote will be taken. Yes, I am ready this time.
Lori Walrab,
Yes.
Josh Barnett,
Yes.
Hannah Beer,
Yes.
Lindsay Bloomfield, Sharon Chung,
Yes.
Leah Klein,
Yes.
Chuck Erickson,
No.
William John Friedrich,
No.
Elizabeth Johnston, Val Lehman,
Yes.
Randall Martin, Catherine Metzger,
Yes.
Jim Rogal,
Yes.
Susan Schaefer,
Yes.
James Solner,
No.
Gerald Thompson,
No.
Shana Wachinsky,
Yes.
Benjamin Webb,
Yes.
George Wendt,
No.
Mr. McIntyre?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Mhm. What do we got? Sorry. What do we? 14 yes, 6 no, and the motion's carried. Member Solner, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next item is 7A 1B, request approval and adoption of the fiscal 2022 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance and the 5-year capital improvement plan, and authorize the chairman and county clerk to sign.
Motion by Member Solner, second by Member Johnston. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion's carried.
All right, next item is 7A 1C, request approval and adoption of the fiscal year 2022 full-time equivalent positions resolutions, and authorize the chairman and the county clerk to sign. I so move.
Motion by Vice Chairman Solner. Is there a second? Second by Member Schaefer. Comments or questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion's carried.
Next item, 7A1D, request approval and adoption of the 2021 tax levy ordinance for McLean County and authorize the chairman and the county clerk to sign. Roll call vote.
Motion by Vice Chairman Zollner, second by Member Worab. This is a roll call vote. Please call the roll.
Lori Worab,
Yes.
Josh Barnett,
Yes.
Hannah Beer,
Yes.
Lindsay Bloomfield, Sharon Chung, Leah Klein,
Yes.
Chuck Erickson, William John Friedrich,
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston, Val Lehman,
Yes.
Randall Martin, Catherine Metzger,
Yes.
Jim Rogal,
Yes.
Susan Schaefer,
Yes.
James Solner,
No.
Carol Thompson,
No.
Shana Wachinsky,
Yes.
Benjamin Webb,
Yes.
George Wendt, John McIntyre,
Yes.
4 no.
15 yeses, 4 noes, and 1 sneeze, but we won't count it at this time. Okay, we'll move on.
Next
Member
item,
Zollner?
next item is 7A1E, request county board authorization to have the county administrator publish the fiscal year 2022 adopted a budget and appropriation ordinance and the 2021 tax levy ordinance.
Motion by Vice Chairman Zollner, second by Member Klein. Comments or questions or discussion? If none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? We have one no vote to be recorded. Okay. Motion is carried.
That's all we have tonight. I'd be glad to answer any questions. General report is in the unapproved minutes.
Thank you. We'll go on to the report of, I'm sorry. But that was an amendment. Do you have that one, Mr. Solner, on your list, in your packet? 6E1E, request approval and addendum to the resolution of the McLean County Board continuing declaration of a disaster. I don't have it either.
This is the item that was just pulled from consent by Mr. Erickson.
Has that been distributed to everyone? Okay. Okay.
6E1E on page 29.
I got it, thank you. 6E1E, request approval of an addendum to resolution of the McLean County Board continuing the declaration of a disaster, COVID, and the document was distributed, and I make that motion.
Motion by Vice Chairman Zollner. Is there a second? Second by Member Johnston. Comments or questions? Member Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to be voting no on this, and there's several reasons for this. One, I hope that, I understand that the way the Fifth Circuit came out with its opinion, and I understand that the way the county has to react to this bouncing ball of what the COVID regulations are going to be, that they come at you quickly. But I understand you guys did the best you could to get it to us as soon as you could. I get that, okay? I do understand that, okay? So, I mean, this may come across as a criticism, but it's not really intended to be. It's just my hope in the future that if there is something that of this importance that needs to be addressed, we're not getting it dropped on us, for lack of a better way to put it, at 4:59 on Monday, because that's when we got the addendum. And even with the addendum, we didn't get some of the exhibits to it. Now, I understand that I could have called today and asked for the forms. I could have, but I got busy. And that happens in my life. I get busy doing other things because this is not my only job. But, you know, that's what I had to do. And there's other reasons for it. I'm not convinced that you couldn't handle this through an emergency meeting if we had to have one. Can I continue? Or did you say something or? Oh, I thought you said something. Okay. I'm not convinced you couldn't do this through an emergency meeting. I really have questions whether OSHA can actually even enforce this, even if they wanted to, because of their manpower. But I have questions about that. But regardless, I understand the lay of the land, but I'll be voting no, and I'll be asking for a roll call vote.
Okay, anyone else? Roll call vote has been requested. Any other comments or questions? This time we'll call, clerk, please call a roll.
Lori Wolrab,
Yes.
Josh Barnett,
Yes.
Hannah Beer,
Yes.
Lindsay Blumenfield, Sharon Chung,
Yes.
Leah Klein,
Yes.
Chuck Erickson, William John Friedrich,
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston,
Yes.
Val Lehman,
Yes.
Randall Martin,
Yes.
Catherine Metzger,
Yes.
Jim Rogal,
Yes.
Susan Schaefer,
Yes.
James Holner,
Yes.
Gerald Thompson,
Yes.
Shana Wachinsky,
Yes.
Benjamin Webb,
Yes.
George Wendt, John McIntyre.
Yes. 18. 18 yes votes, 2 no votes, and the motion carries. Apologize for the error on that one. I thought we were carrying over something else from the consent agenda. We'll go on. Member Solner, do you have anything else?
I don't believe so. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll go on to the report of the Finance Committee, Chairman Metzger.
Thank you, Chairman McIntyre. The Finance Committee presents 7B1A, request approval of the fiscal year 2022 compensation plan, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Metzger. Is there a second? Second by Member Klein. Comments or questions? Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Moving on, we have 7B1B, request approval of a resolution calling for a public hearing concerning the intent of the county board to enter into a lease agreement with the Public Building Commission of McLean County, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Metzger. Is there a second? Second by Member Lehman. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has carried.
The Finance Committee has no other items, but our general report can be found in the unapproved meeting minutes.
Thank you. Let's go on to the report of the Health Committee, Chairman Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health Committee has no items for action today, and our general report can be found in the unapproved minutes packet.
Thank you. We're going to item D, Justice Committee report, Chairman Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item on the agenda is item 7D1A, request approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the State of Illinois, Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS, and the County of McLean. My glasses fell off, so that's why I was laughing here. And I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson, second by Member Martin. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion's carried.
Mr. Chairman, the next item on the agenda is item what the heck, 7D1B. Request approval of a change order modification of contract with IC Solutions, and I am making a motion to take that from the table, take that off the table.
A motion to remove item D1B off the table. Is there a second? Second by Member Martin. Comments or questions? All in favor of removing this? Roll call vote will be requested, and, excuse me. Yes. No,
Just tonight.
no. This is to take off the table it was put on last full board meeting. And a roll call vote has been requested, so we will have a roll call vote. I thought I just asked, is there? I'm sorry. Go ahead. If you have discussion, I missed.
Sorry, there's a lot of procedures. I'm going to be voting to not take this off the table simply because nothing has changed. There have been efforts from some of the members to communicate with the sheriff to ask budget-driven questions, and nothing has happened. Nothing has changed. Even his memo hasn't changed. So we asked him by majority vote in our last meeting to reconsider a contract, not to reconsider whether or not to have the tablets. And since there has been nothing that has been presented to us that is different from what we saw the last time, I will be voting against taking this off the table in the hopes that we will actually get to the nut of the problem, which was our original question, which was the 25% kickback to the county with this contract. Thank you.
Further comments? If not, we'll have a roll call vote. This is a motion to take item off the table that we had up for action last month. And would clerk please call the roll?
Lori Walrab,
No.
Josh Barnett,
No.
Hannah Beer,
No.
Lindsay Bloomfield, Sharon Chung,
No.
Leah Klein,
No.
Chuck Erickson, William John Friedrich,
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston, Val Lehman,
No.
Randall Martin, Catherine Metzger,
Yes.
Jim Rogal,
No.
Susan Schaefer,
Yes.
James Solner,
Yes.
Carol Thompson,
Yes.
Shana Wachinsky,
No.
Benjamin Webb,
No.
George Wendt, John McIntyre,
Yes.
10.
10 to 10.
Mhm.
There was 10 yes votes, 10 no votes, and so the motion to remove off the table fails and it will remain on the table. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Justice Committee has no other items for action, and our report can be found in the unapproved minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll go on to the report of the Land Use and Development Committee. Chairman Wendt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Land Use and Development Committee has no items for action, and we have a general report. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We'll go on to the item F, Property Committee Report. Chairman Barnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Property Committee brings forward two items for action, the one that is printed in the agenda and one item that was pulled from the consent agenda. First is item 7F1A, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2021 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for the American Rescue Plan Fund, which requires a 2/3 vote, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Barnett. Is there a second? Second by Member Wachinsky. Comments or questions? Discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This requires a 2/3 vote. Any one wanted their vote registered? I've already taken the vote. Do you have a no vote to be registered? One no vote? Remember, when it registers a no vote, this requires a 2/3 to pass, and we have 2/3 and it passes. Member Barnett, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Property Committee also brings forward from the consent agenda items CE4C, a resolution authorizing the chairman to sign a contract for the electrical supply for all McLean County facilities, which is on page 59 and 60 of the packet. And I so move.
Motion by Chairman Barnett. Is there a second? Second by Member Rogal. Comments or questions? All in favor? I'm sorry, Member Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We discussed this at the exec. I know we've talked about it quite a bit. Again, I'm just disappointed that some members of the property committee voted to tax the citizens another $57 when they really didn't have to. We're going to boast now that we're using green energy. rather than conventional power, which is great. I think the county's done more than its share to aid in the progress of renewable energy. I've approved or voted to approve many wind farms and solar energy farms. And don't misunderstand, I do support solar and wind energy. I just believe this is wrong. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Thompson.
So I would agree. First of all, how do we know we're getting green energy? Do we have to put in new service, or how do we know?
It'll be certified through our supplier and through Ameren.
So we're going to buy it whether we do this or not, right? I mean, it's going to be in the grid, power's generated and it's out there, and we just take what we get, right? I mean, that's the way it works. My point is, we took a tour this summer, and staff pointed out they needed additional staff, they needed buildings repaired, they needed equipment, and we ignored every one of those items, and we choose to spend additional money on this. Now, I'm not against green energy, but if we're going to make additional expenditures for our county, I think we need to prioritize where our staff has told us that they need it, and especially when you take the time to go out and meet with them, and then you do this, to me, it's a slap in their face, and I'm 100% against this.
Okay, any other comments?
Yeah.
Member Erickson?
I just had a follow-up question from what I asked at the executive committee meeting. It's a 57,000, I think Jim meant to say 57,000, but it's a $57,000 increase for this year, and it's also we're gonna pay an extra 57,000 next year too, because we're in a 2-year contract. So it's
That
actually,
was, yeah, you did ask, and that is correct.
so it's 2 57,000s, not one.
Well, yeah, it's 2 different
Okay,
years.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Member Wachinski?
I would just say that a lot of these questions were answered. Staff has done an amazing job. Cassie, you've done an amazing job with keeping us informed on all of these things and the numbers and why we have decided to go this route. And this was all discussed in committee. And, I feel if you're passionate enough about this project or for or against it, participation in committee meetings is vital.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Member Wolrath?
Over here.
I'll just say,
Go ahead.
thank you. I'll just say that we didn't ignore the request from administration or staff. We deliberated over a budget, which they worked on for months and months, and we had a few months in which to accept, deny, change, whatever. But more importantly, I'll say that McLean County is one of the largest producers of clean, green energy, and our wind farms in the entire state, maybe the largest producer at this point. And we reap significant tax benefits. We tax those wind turbines, and we get a lot of money from them. So if we don't want to buy our own product, that is a very strange proposition and position to take. So I am voting in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Wendt, had your hand up?
Yeah, it's really kind of crazy. Almost everything else that we do, we take the low bid. And here we're kind of being a little foolish with the taxpayers' money. We're going ahead and spending extra money that we don't need to spend. And I think most of the time we take the low bid unless there's some real good reason why. And I think the electricity is all the same no matter who produces it. And I just think at this particular time, and especially with all the other inflationary costs that are going to cost our citizens, we should be very frugal with the county money. In fact, if we would purchase the regular electricity and save that money, we could actually reduce the tax. We could have reduced the tax levy or the tax rate, which I think we should look at that from now on and follow the example. I guess the Unit 5 is actually going to reduce their rate this year, which is kind of a surprise. We may be one of the only ones that raised the rate. So, but I think it's a little foolish for us to spend extra money at this particular time that we don't have to. And I obviously we'll be voting no.
Okay, I've got a couple more hands up. We'll finish one more round here and then we'll take a vote. Member Barnett, you're next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess I would share with the board as a whole that whether we start buying green energy this year or we start buying green energy next year, in the not too terribly distant future, the energy option for us is going to be green energy. Owners of coal-producing power plants across the state are shutting them down and turning them into other facilities. There is constantly talk from whether or not nuclear power plants are going to make it in the long haul. The state has positioned itself to be the home for green energy and wind and solar power. That is where our energy is going to be coming from with probably by the end of the next decade. So whether we make this purchase and investment now or we wait, one way or another, we are going to be buying green energy in the future to take care of McLean County's property. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Member Johnston.
Thank you. I mean, I concur with Member Barnett. One of the things that recently was in the news is the efforts across the world, across the country, to be investing in green energy for the sake of our planet, for the sake of our community. And so I will be voting for this because I think that it is a good investment on our part to make the world a better place. And that's not lip service. We had historic floods. We are seeing historic damage being done across the country. Levee systems are having to be reinforced across the world because of flooding. So anything that we can do to contribute to lower greenhouse, a safer planet, then I will be voting in favor of this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Second round, Member Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to be clear that no one is telling anybody in the McLean County that they want to pursue green energy. They can get their green energy and they can reduce their carbon footprint or whatever they wish to do on their own. I mean, this amendment, whether it passes, or this contract, whether it passes or not, doesn't stop that. Yes, the state has positioned itself to go to green energy, but it's doing it at a very high price to the citizens of McLean County and the citizens of the entire state. Whether that's a wise move, in the long run, I guess time will tell. But it is what it is, and I'll be voting no on it, and I will be asking for roll call.
Any other comments or questions? Member Lehman.
Just to echo Member Woolrab's previous point that as a county, we are a leader in green energy. This is something that we have to be proud of. And this is an opportunity for us to perhaps be a leader in the state of Illinois and to ultimately do the right thing, to show the rest of the folks in the state that we're proud of our product in green energy. So I will be supporting yes, and I hope everybody here can muster up a little bit of pride with that point as well, however you're voting.
Thank you. Further comments? It's been a roll call vote has been requested. Will the clerk please call the roll? A yes vote is in support of item 6E4C, which was pulled off the consent agenda, in favor of green energy.
Lori Woolrab,
Yes.
Josh Barnett,
Yes.
Hannah Bear,
Yes.
Lindsay Bloomfield, Sharon Chung,
Yes.
Leah Klein,
Yes.
Chuck Erickson.
No, I'm against the contract. I'm trying to think here. Yeah. Is that the right way to say that? No? I'm no? Yeah, no. You're a no.
So that's a no? Okay.
I don't know. I lost my train of thought here. I'm entitled to that, okay? I mean, I'm just a human being. But my vote is no on the contract.
Okay, so that's a no. All right, William.
Well, thank you for the clarification, Ms. Michael.
William John Friedrich,
No.
Elizabeth Johnston, Val Lehman,
Yes.
Randall Martin, Catherine Metzger,
No.
Jim Rogal,
Yes.
Susan Schaefer,
Yes.
James Holner,
No.
Carol Thompson,
No.
Shana Wachinsky,
Yes.
Benjamin Webb.
Emphatically, yes.
Pardon me?
Yes.
Yes. George Wendt. 7 no's. Chairman will not vote.
We have 12 yes votes, 7 no votes, and the motion has carried. And do you have anything else for us tonight, Mr. Barnett?
My apologies, Mr. Chairman. No, Property Committee has no other items for action this evening.
Thank you. We'll go on to the Transportation Committee, Chairman Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Transportation has 2 items tonight. 7G1A, request approval of an Illinois Transit Downstate Operating Assistance Agreement through the show bus, and I so move.
Motion by Vice Chairman Solner. Is there a second? Second by Member Klein. Comments or questions? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
Next item, 7G1B, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance from McLean County Highway Fund 0120. Requires a 2/3 vote, and I so move.
Motion by Vice Chairman Solner, second by Member Johnston. Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Any no votes to be registered? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously.
Those are all the action items for the Transportation Committee. General report can be found in the unapproved minutes. I would answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. You ready? Move on to the report of our interim county administrator, Ms. Cassie Taylor.
Thank you, Chairman. I have no items to be presented this evening.
Okay, thank you. Number 8 on the agenda is appearance by members of the public and county employees in reference to an item not on the agenda. We had no one apply to speak tonight. So go on to item number 9, other business and communication. First item is A, request approval of map reapportioning McLean County for the election of the county board. I'm sure you're all aware of the committees, the maps, and that everybody has seen those. And basically, it is time to follow the process that we approved and we'll be voting on. And at this time, I'm going to ask for our clerks to hand out the first voting ballot with your name on it. Please put an X in the box just like you're voting in the polls, and they will be collected and read off and tallied.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Member Went.
I'd just like to make a statement. I disagree with this method of voting. I'm not sure of the legality of it, for one thing. And number two, it sets a terrible precedence for us to vote for things this way. And third, it deprives us of the ability to do amendments to the process. I will participate, but obviously I disagree with the process.
Okay, thank you. we have them all collected? All the votes have been collected. Our county clerk will be reading off the names of the person voting and the vote, and then we will tally the votes and give you an outcome. Thank you.
Josh Barnett, red map. Let me know if I go too fast. Jim Solner, white map. Elizabeth Johnston, red map. Sharon Chung, red map. Yeah, if you can make sure I'm reading it right. Member William Friedrich, white map. Chuck Erickson, white map. Benjamin Webb, red map. Shayna Wachinski, red map. Lori Wolrab, red map. Gerald Thompson, white map. Leah Klein, red map. Jim Rogal, red map. Lindsay Bloomfield, white map. George Wendt, white map. Val Lehman, red map. Catherine Metzger, white map. Susan Schaefer, white map. Hannah Beer, blue map. Randy Martin, white map. John McIntyre, white map. That's all I have. I'm going to read off the totals.
Okay, the results are 9 votes for the red map, 10 votes for the white map, and 1 vote for the blue map. According to our voting process, there was not a majority of the votes cast, and so we'll revert to the next part, second step in our process, and that will be, we will eliminate the blue map from the voting. We'll be voting on red and white on our next round. And I'm going to give you a little time here, a few minutes to think about this, and then we'll take the second round of votes. And so Okay, we'll read the results of the second round of voting.
Josh Barnett, red map. Jim Soldner, white map. Elizabeth Johnston, red map. Sharon Chung, red map. William Friedrich, white map. Chuck Erickson, white map. Benjamin Webb, red map. Shana Wachinsky, red map. Lori Woolrab, red map. Gerald Thompson, white map. Leah Klein, red map. Jim Rogal, red map. Lindsay Bloomfield, white map. George Wendt, white map. Val Lehman, red map. Catherine Metzger, white map. Susan Schaefer, white map. Hannah Beer, red map. Randy Martin, red map. John McIntyre, white map.
We have 11 votes for the red map and 9 votes for the white map. And the red map is the winner, the majority, has the majority of votes. So I'll need at this time a motion to approve the red map and a second. Motion by Member Johnson, second by Member Rogal. Comments or questions or discussion?
Roll call.
A roll call vote. It is to accept the vote that we just took, with the majority being the red vote. And I'll refer you to page 167 in your packet, which is the resolution. And we are basically passing the resolution with this vote, I believe at this time, which is just, we're inserting under item 1 in the resolution that the map proposed by the red group is hereby adopted by the county board. Question by Member Webb? Yeah, discussion? Yes.
Thank you, Chairman. I would just like to speak to the general theme of this meeting this evening, which has been thanks to the administration, the staff, and the employees of this county, basically. On numerous occasions this evening, we've heard and seen topics where hours and hours and hours being poured into this process, these maps, these budgets. And so I think many board members would agree with that vote of thanks to all the staff, all the administration for the process that we've gone through.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? We have a roll call vote requested. I think we had a motion and a second, didn't we? So clerk, please call the roll. A yes vote is to approve the ordinance on page 167 with the red map group inserted as being adopted by the county board.
Lori Woolrab,
Yes.
Josh Barnett,
Yes.
Hannah Beer,
Yes.
Lindsay Bloomfield, Sharon Chung,
Yes.
Leah Klein,
Yes.
Chuck Erickson, William John Friedrich,
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston, Val Lehman,
Yes.
Randall Martin, Catherine Metzger, Jim Rogal,
Yes.
Susan Schaefer,
Yes.
James Soldner,
Yes.
Gerald Thompson,
Yes.
Shana Wachinsky,
Yes.
Benjamin Webb,
Yes.
George Wendt, John McIntyre, did you have a
Yes.
vote? Yeah, okay, yes for Mr. McIntyre.
We have 18 yes votes, 2 no votes, and the motion has carried and the resolution passes. I have one more item of other business for tonight. On November 1st, 2021, member Lori Woolrab provided to me a notice of her resignation effective 12 p.m. December 31st, 2021 from the board. Therefore, I am announcing that as of tonight, there is a vacancy in the position of County Board Member for District 6 pursuant to the McLean County Code Section 20-10H1. I am affixing the date upon which the appointment will be made to fill the vacancy as February 10th, 2021. Also pursuant to the McLean County Code, written applications and resumes of those seeking appointment must be submitted to the county administrator's office by 12 noon on Thursday, February 3rd, 2021. Applications must be signed by the applicants. All eligible applicants will be interviewed by the executive committee at its regular meeting scheduled to begin at 4 p.m. on Monday, February 7th, 2021. And this notice is sent out to the public and also to the chairman of each party as well. Thank you, Lori, and we expect you to be here in December and see you again. Okay, thank you. And I have nothing else for tonight. Anybody else have any comments or other business? Member Chung?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know it's been a long meeting, but I just wanted to quickly say that I attended this election machine demonstration today that County Clerk put together. There are 2 more tomorrow. It was very interesting and informative. And anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. And I guess, I don't know if Ms. Michael is inviting still more county board members to attend tomorrow if they wanted to, but I'm signed up to go tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to hearing tomorrow's presentations. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other comments? Any other business? If not, well, thank you all. Be safe.